So my one thing is a sales question, and I maybe I should I haven't gone through the DYB portion of the sales portion of the DYB cafe. So hope I'm not asking a question that may be a little redundant for you. But one of the things that I think my sales rate right now is about 40%. It was a little higher a couple weeks ago because I've had a slow couple weeks. But one of the things that I've, even whenever it's been a little higher, one of the things that I've struggled with is selling on the spot and asking for the business. So I was curious, just yeah, if we could talk about that a little bit. Selling on the spot. I know a few of the things using the video testimonials, and one of the things I heard recently was giving proof that you are the best for the job and about your
Yeah.
team and being able to brag on your teams. I thought that was good, but just like asking for the business, what's a good way to do that? What's a good how you can ask that question without sounding a little sleazy?
Hey, that's a great question. I appreciate that. So real quick, this is why I have the one estimating sales course. In fact, Anthony signed up for it, so he's gonna be going through it because it's a deep dive, right? And I'd love to go over all of it right now. But one, we wouldn't have enough time and nobody else would be able to take their turns. But let's hit like some of the key points for you. And I believe your question was like, how do you ask for the sale without seeming sleazy? Great question. What you do is, well, one, you just don't be sleazy and you genuinely ask for the sale, essentially. So it comes from your motive.
Sure.
Okay. Now it sounds simple and we can all laugh at this, but really it comes from your heart, your motive. If you just want to close a sale, it's going to come across sleazy because you care about yourself. Okay. But we've talked about this before. You have a moral obligation. If you know that there are other contractors out there who lie, cheat, and steal, you have a moral obligation to help them to see that you are the best choice for them, that your team will provide the best, honest experience for them. Once you come from that place, then it's a genuine request. And it's just, Josh, I really like you. I love this project. There's no doubt in my mind that our team provide the best experience for you. May we have the job, please? Yes. Did that sound sleazy? Now I'm caffeinated, right? So it may have been a little faster than we would be there at a meeting. And sometimes I was caffeinated when I rolled into those meetings, which is great if they were high D, right? You want to peg their personality type.
So that answers my question. Yeah, just like asking straight up, may I have the business?
Yeah. Think about this, Josh, when we were on a call, okay, and you were sharing some of your struggles, and I was working to listen to what they truly were, help you, serve you, give you some answers, some direction, okay. And then because I knew that we would make a difference together, one-to-one coaching, I asked for the business, didn't I?
Yeah.
Said, hey, let's work together. I forget what the words were, but when I asked, it didn't sound sleazy, right? I didn't come off, I was in it for the sale or trying to sell a car. I'm guessing that you got the impression that I truly cared and I sincerely believed that I could help you grow faster. Would you agree? It was all about the place where we're coming from, not so much what we say, but how we say it and why we say it.
Helpful.
All right, let's peel it back a little bit. What else is there? Because it's not because there's usually a few layers to what's in the way, right? I want to peel a couple of those back and just really bring this home for you.
Yeah. What do you mean? What else is there?
Okay, after what I've shared, you feel like, oh, thanks, Steve. I can go out and ask everybody now. Or are there a few other concerns, reservations that you have?
I don't know if there's reservations. I don't feel like a hesitation to ask. I just
Mhm.
not really sure how to do it with because I want to make sure I'm if I have a good estimate where I feel like just maybe give you a little bit of a context. I usually ask at the end just some questions because it helps me get an idea. One, did I help out every way I can? Also, where are you with this? What's the real issue? Why aren't you going with me today? Type thing. And almost always they I got every single thing they asked for, almost above and beyond. Like they're like, you were very thorough, you got everything. Okay, it's
Mhm.
not that. It's not that I missed something. And also just how they say it. If they're like, yeah, no, you got everything.
Mhm.
They always say they trust me and trust my team. They're always like, no, we
Mhm.
absolutely trust you to do the job.
Okay.
Every single time it's based on price or yeah, it's just
Mhm.
a lot higher. You're about 2,000 more than everyone else. Okay. Usually people, and I've always had a hard time. Yeah, I get that. If I had something where I trusted someone and I wanted to go with them, but they're 2,000 more, yeah, I want to think about that before I just jump in because that's a lot. It's a lot of money. We're spending
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
money on this project. So I've always felt weird after all that being like, okay, I'm gonna have the business.
Yeah.
So there's just and just
Okay.
knowing how I do that, if that makes sense. Is that
All right.
helpful?
Yep, absolutely. This helps. Thank you. So you haven't directly asked, but they have in so many words said thank you. Well, think about it. So if
Right.
that's the case, then it doesn't make sense to ask after that. It would be sleazy because you'd be pushing for it then without answering any of their concerns. Okay. At this point, if it looks like or feels like it comes down to price, we keep it above the line, take ownership, and we ask ourselves, okay, how can I communicate more value? It's not about the cheaper price. It's about how can I communicate more value. If it's about the cheaper price, you're stuck. There's nothing you can do about it because it's their fault. But if we say, okay, how can I communicate more value? Now we take ownership, right? It's our fault. Once it's our fault, and we believe that anyway, we take that position. Now we have the power to change it. And so, okay, how can we communicate more value? You ready? Let's walk through the whole DWebby system. There's a lot there, right? But most of that is about communicating more value up front. Everything from making sure you get your 3Ps nailed to your website conversion funnel laid out exactly, okay, to generating referrals and then crushing ABAs and especially video testimonials with the scarcity, with the social proof to prove your team provides the best experience, and then show them the production calendar, scarcity, and and then what you do is you stack the closes at the end. Okay, you show them the production calendar after you've done the video testimonials, and then you just say, look, I've got an opening here in 3 weeks, or just say want it done in 3 weeks. If you'd be willing to sign with me now, I will also be happy to take if points are important to you or fun for you. I'd be happy to take a credit card with no extra charge because a lot of people charge for credit cards. I will also, if you sign today, include a designer to help you to pick out the colors so that you get the perfect color. You don't make any mistakes. And you don't regret any of this. And believe me, you don't want me helping you. I'm not a decorator. Right? My wife won't even let me help decorate. Okay, make a big joke about it. I've got this some of that laid out in the sales course, the closes anyway. But you want to stack the closes, if you will, the bonuses for them if they sign right now. And then you just it's really important though that you preface it with the video testimonials and the calendar. The social proof and scarcity close is the most powerful. And then you just add to it with the decorator and the no credit card fees. And I forget there's another one. If it comes to me, I'll interrupt everybody and say, oh, here it is. I remember after that. Okay. But the idea is to set yourself up for that so that you can close it on the spot. I've walked through this. Okay. Now, granted, I have everything else built out in the system and I've walked through that presentation, video testimonials, scarcity with the production calendar, included decorator and no extra charge, credit card, no extra fee, and would close them even, wait for it, then, no exaggeration, when another guy was outside waiting for his turn. So I walked out the door and they waved him off. Forget it. We went with Burnett. I felt bad for him. I won't say the name of his company, but I for the guy waved off out there. If you do that, but you got to build up all the value because your marketing done right does the selling for you. Okay.
I
I
do
was
the,
gonna
And we
add
can
to that,
go ahead.
if you guys don't
oh, go
mind.
ahead. Oh,
Basically, first off, I'm gonna back up Steve on the estimating class. It really made me 10 times more confident in what I was doing. That and
awesome.
having a good estimating system is another one that gives you a lot of confidence. But the number one thing that I experience when I go to a bid, when I have a problem with price, is that the customer's under the impression that painters are all the same. And so when you can show your level of integrity, when you can show your level of honesty and dedication to quality, that is a big way to provide a lot more value and start separating in their mind the basic bids from someone who really cares about what they're doing. So that's another tip I would add to that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Alex. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Any other thoughts for Josh here before we move on?
Yes, I would like to chime in a little bit and just back up what you're saying, Steve. It is, I think, something that I can maybe perceive on Josh is, yeah, where you're touching the confidence. So I think everything starts from the initial touch, right from the call. Because if you're hesitating how to ask or question yourself, how can I do it, is because you're not feeling the confidence. And I think if we present good estimate, good walk through the project, have all the questions, and if, especially if the customers say that you are the right fit and they're pretty much go with you, it's just asking straight, then what's holding you? If I'm look the right company to do this project for you, what is holding you? What am I missing? Like you're saying, Steve, there should be something that is might be very minimal, just to ask and say what part of the everything, if the number looks good and if you're the right company to the job, what is the last piece? If you have that, then you can strictly ask, just say, when can I get you on the books? So it's all we need today is just to give a deposit and jump on the books. But I think, yeah, just getting the confidence from the initial touch will drive the conversation of the estimate for you to make it easy, not doubting how to ask. You're just gonna ask spontaneously, I think, because you can feel it, the energy around. So
Dude, right on. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for the sake of time. I love to talk sales. Like we can talk sales all day. I love that. Sales is the most fun aspect of building a business, right? Every time you close a sale, it's like right on. Yes.